Warm welcome, everyone. Thank you all for joining to our sixth session of this Forestry Speed Dating webinar, focused on wildfire management. My name is Franciszek Kaczmarek. I'm a junior expert in European Forest Institute, and today I will be your moderator. This Forestry Speed Dating series is a collaboration between Bioregions Facility and Firelogue projects. So wildfires are threatening the natural landscapes in the world. They are fueled by rising temperatures and prolonged by dry weather. In 2025 alone, over 29,000 hectares have burned in UK. One example is Green Rose Island in the Scottish Island, where recent wildfires impacted 15,000 of trees and impact local wildlife. Collaboration is needed to develop and implement solutions that efficiently and effectively will address and mitigate wildfire risk through integrated wildfire management. Forestry speed dating is exactly this kind of platform which foster innovation and catalyze collaboration in the forest bioeconomy. This forestry speed dating, of course, wouldn't be available without the support from our bioregions member regions. Basque Country, Catalonia, and Northern Westphalia. I invite you to learn about our members' regions on the Bioregions Facility website. Like I mentioned before, this series is a collaboration between Bioregions and Firelogue. It's a Horizon 2020 project focused on enhancing wildfire resilience and by developing and implementing innovative solution. It brings together different groups of stakeholders, organizations, and experts to together address the challenges of extreme wildfires. In today's session, we will explore two innovative solutions and one presentation from the Firelogue, a wildfire innovation platform.
Since it's a platform, I prefer to do a platform walkthrough than a presentation. So a few words, if you are new with Firelogue project, is a project that is now coming to an end. We were working with Silvanus, Fire-S, Triads, and Fire for 4 years now. And one of the goals, since we are in support and coordination action, was to create this platform. The platform structure was based on one of our partners already developed platform, the Lessons on Fire. Some of you may be familiar with this platform from Pau Costa Foundation. And our goal is to hand back the platform that we now redesigned and restructure to the Pau Costa Foundation to continue the work after the project ends. So first thing, here is the landing page of our platform. You can find a few words about it, some phrases that we use a lot, and first steps to get familiar with the platform. So if you are new and you want access, you need to register. And it is very important because we have a lot of questions that you be aware that you're going to receive an email after your registration to verify that it is actually your email. And sometimes you need to search on trash. So I am already a member, of course, and I will log in. And as we log in, and before, of course, but actually, if you want to be active in the platform and add your content, you need to be a verified user. So we have divided the platform in two sections, let's say, the networking and the knowledge hub. So in this networking session, section, sorry, you can find dissemination platforms already provided by the European Union. So we have created, those are our own graphics, and it is based on, let's say, the brand identity of each platform. But we see now that after our approach there, they actually have created, if you visit the Commission's um, website about the how to disseminate and communicate your projects, you can actually find something similar to that. So we want to contact them and actually share with them our leaflets. So Firelogue did it first, and we created those leaflets to make it easier for you to understand what each platform provides and help you promote your project. Also, we had our calendar here. Event, you can add your events, and a news section, of course, that you can add your news. For each of these, we have, of course, a form with mandatory fields and non-mandatory fields to submit your content. After submitting, we receive an email, and we actually approve, most of the time, of course, the new content. So for the Knowledge Hub, this is the most hot, let's say, topic. We have wildfire management platforms that already existed from previous projects. We have our library that you can find a lot of content for publications and other. A map that's interesting, actually, we can visit it, um, which showcases the case studies of our innovation actions, Forestry, Silvanus, also Fireurix and Safers. So if you click on each of these dots, you can find more information. This content is updated based on the new information each project provided. And also you can visit their website to their dedicated pages to discover more. Here, you can only use this form if you are one of these projects. But of course, if you are another project that you're gonna have wildfires management case studies, pilots, and stuff like that, you can send an email to actually add you. But it's another process. You can find more information here. And our basic goal as Firelogue, among others, is to create this tech mall here. So the innovation actions have provided some of their technical solutions for the wildfire risk management. And here you can find more information. And now we are trying actually to create a repository of technologies from the innovation actions and more. And we also have this page dedicated to anything else but technical solutions. And already we have content from the Lessons on Fire platform. So again, you can find the form if you are a user here for the wildfire risk management measures, and for the tech mall, of course. There is a long process, I know, if you are familiar with these forms, but we needed to be very careful on how to communicate everything. And this form has actually been a very interesting point of discussion with the innovation actions to create similar standards and be able to upload a solution, let's say, with the same uh, parameters. So I was as fast as I could. We have also our form here if you want to contact us, and I will send you the my email if you want to ask me something more specific. And of course, some frequently asked questions. Cut long story short, this is our platform and it will stay uploaded after the project end, of course. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alex Harel, and I'm CEO of EasyPick Water from Israel. And I will present to you several firefighting solutions that have been developed in the last years in Israel. The company is in business from 2010. We are mainly started in various water solutions, storage, transportation. And about 4 years ago, there was a very big fire in Israel, following which last many days. We developed in a very quick response something similar to what I'm showing you now. And since then, we are also added to our products a line of firefighting equipment. Basic things that we are looking for is mainly two things. One is how to supply a lot of water to fire trucks in the fire lines. Since regular fire trucks has about 4,000 liters of water, maybe 6,000 liters of water, we decided that we need to provide them a very good way in order to supply water quickly without have to travel long distances. So that's one area that we have developed. And the other thing is how to increase the firefighting forces in a very low cost way to be able to respond to wildfire events. So the first product that we developed, it's called the FlexCon, and it's basically a kit that you install in any standard container and convert a 20-foot container into a 24,000 liter storage. We supply the kit. There is no change to the container, so you can either rent a container or use an existing container and then reuse the container to other things. As you can see, the idea here in the picture, we bringing our water storage very near to the fire line, so the fire trucks has to travel few hundred meters, refill themselves, and go back to the fire line. We also keep supplying water to the container in order to continue the supply. 24,000 liter container, it's enough for six regular fire trucks. You can see here, this is a picture from the big fire I told you about in Israel. You see on the left, on the right, the trucks that takes the FlexCon, and on the left, the fire truck. In this situation, we even used fire trucks from the airport because the fire was so severe. And here is another picture of how we supply water directly from the fire truck, from the container to the fire truck. Another thing that, as I mentioned, is we look to a way how to build fire equipment that can be easily and very quickly added to the firefighting line. They are not replacing fire trucks. They're just adding firefighting support to the fire trucks. And one of the things we developed a kit that is based on a standard firefighting monitor installed on a spatial device that we have developed that enable us to install it quickly on the pickup. It can be installed on a pickup. We have installation on trucks. It's very, very flexible. And you connect it to our FlexCon, and you get a very significant firefighting power in a very low cost, if you compare it to a fire engine. Another product that came out of this way of thinking is how to also help helicopters to shorten the distance they are traveling for getting water. If we are lucky and the fire is near the sea or near a water source, then it's not needed. But in many times, the fires are in areas that are quite remote, and even the helicopters has to travel significant amount of time in order to be fulfilled. So we developed what we call the helipack, which again, it's a 40-foot container, specially designed to hold water. It can hold about 50,000 liters of water. And the helicopter comes with a basket, lower it into the container, and be refilled. And again, this container can be refilled on a regular basis by other trucks that bring in the water. So this is the concept we have developed. As I said, it was used extensively first time about 3 or 4 years ago when a big fire was happening almost in the north and in the center of Israel. And even recently, in the last year and a half, events in Israel, it also have been used in order to support firefighting in areas that are remote, there is no access to water, and conserve fire trucks traveling time and shorten and increase basically the duty cycle on the fire. So that's the two products that we have developed. They can very much be available and can be very helpful in a wildfire event where you have a very wide area of wildfires. And of course, fire trucks are a very expensive equipment. So if you can increase the firefighting capabilities in a short and relative low cost manner, then that's its advantage. That's it. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody again. With several friends and authors, co-authors, we are producing. We have been issuing this monitoring tool with the help of Sergio Piron, that was shortly posing a question, with Xavier Joseph, which is a French fire officer. Anaïs Johnson is a lady belonging to Marseille University in public management, and Tom Robertson is an expert of TIEMS, the International Emergency Management Society, located in United States. So the main idea of that is to show a very simple and ruggedized tool to estimate the level of efficiency or performance of international cooperation. So everything is based on is grounded on real operational things. While I was the fire chief of the French detachment in Sweden in 2018 and in Greece in 2021. And also I've been luckily incident commander for two MODEX, which are general European exercises. And what I noticed is that when the European Civil Protection Mechanism, EUCPM, is activated, there is never any issues about fair use of the capabilities by the local or the hosting nation, simply because incident commanders are used to involve heterogeneous or diverse capabilities in their operation and to optimize their use. I give you an example. When I arrived in Sweden with 60% and some material, the first question that the operation chief is asking to me is, what can you do? So I express my capabilities, and I've been involved in a sector relevant to my capabilities where I can give a relevant interaction and on relevant actions on suppressions. However, what I also noticed is that the expertise level is less used, because when you have a detachment going abroad, you have many times some very high expertise, some very high acknowledged officers who are not so much used or not so much involved in the command and control system, and they cannot give optimized interaction with the local incident management team. And additionally, even if there is a large EU CPM training program, it is more oriented towards international practice and knowledge rather than operational practices. So the idea is that at first I wanted to study this cooperation efficiency at international level. And with some friends and other authors, we did some studies. At first, building an interoperability evaluation tool at national level, because this question is also a reality when you work in your country with several agencies responding to the same disaster, for example, police, hospital, or others communities or other responding agencies. And sometimes the interoperability is not at the best level. Also, we launched with the same team, extended with many international offices, a comparative study on command and control practices with 2 papers issued in 20 and 24. And also a recent study on planning function, same model, international comparison. And this paper is not yet issued, but it will be published in France at first and then in English at international level. And what we felt that it was possible to create a tool to monitor the level of cooperation and the efficiency, something very simple, but not between several agencies from the same country, but several responding fire departments interacting at international level on a host nation, on an affected nation by, for example, natural disaster. So we build on, I guess there is, yes. We build on 6 pillars of evaluation key components. Of course, the first question is there some public policies at international level, European or international? Is there some SOPs or operational practices harmonized or at least shared at international level? Also, the question is about IT tools. Clearly radio communications. Do we have the same channel or not? And how do we share data? That's the third question. And about, of course, language skills. Language skills are fundamental. Usually we speak this Globish English, which is a third language, but it's much better to speak the national language. And even if there are tools, nothing is better to speak the same language. You understand it very obviously. And about trainings. Is there any common trainings between the nations, observed nations, and the rated cooperation? And of course, a big focus on how does it works at operational level in the reality of the operation. And this evaluation is dedicated to a bilateral evaluation, even if sometimes you have many countries coming in an affected country. The evaluation is to be done between the foreigner one and the hosting country, and if necessary, replicated as far as there are many helping foreign countries. And also what I want to say is this evaluation is dedicated to the incident management level. This model can be reused with other criteria at others level, for example, safety, interaction, or cooperation. For example, technical devices, interoperability. So, however, I keep I go on my presentation to explain how we gave we produced a very simple Excel tab with 5 columns and 7 lines, and we monitor all these items I previously mentioned, giving a ranking, a note to each. For example, for governance, if you have multilateral agreements and for these works or operation, let's say wildfire, for example, you can give a 4. Or if you have no contact with the country, the affected country. For me, that was the case when I went in Sweden. I've never been working in 2018 with Sweden on wildfire, honestly. So you can give a rank also on the standardized procedure, the operational procedure. Have you got harmonized only at the national level, or maybe at the multilateral, or specifically at bilateral level if you have a cross-border operation? It's possible, for example, between Portugal and Spain. It's possible that people work frequently together and they have bilateral practices. And also about the data, as I said, usually how do we share data? It's with USB stick. It's only 1 on 5. And the voice, usually you don't have the same channel. And what is done, the affected country give you some radio communication devices. So it's a bad note too. An exercise is now with Europe. Thanks to Europe, we have some modecs on wildfire, but before 2020, there were no modecs on wildfires. And about the language skills, also the first level is use interpreter of AI tools, but the best is having the host country language. When French teams go to Belgium, it's more easy than when they come in Finland, of course. Francisek, you understand that clearly. And also for operation, what is paramount is to have some acquaintance on the command and control practices, and best would be to have the same command and control system. So you also see that we give a weighting coefficient to keep some balance between the criteria and to give more importance to operation. And when you fulfill this tab, it gives immediately a rank on 100. So you have your note and you highlight your weaknesses. So it's very, very simple. Just to say, I have unfortunately not time to do a demo, but if I do a demo, it's 5 minutes more, you imagine, but I have no time. So in conclusion, it's very simple. As I said, an ruggedized tool. Of course, there is some guidance, using guidance, because who is fulfilling the tab? Is it the European Commission, or is it the 2 chiefs of the agencies and then a consensus meeting? So both possibilities exist, and they are depicted in the deliverable of FireS that you can find on the website of FireS. And if you need that I send you the tool, the Excel tab, it's very easy. I can send you. You have my address, and I can send you the tab to do some tests for you. Of course, it is dedicated to responding stakeholders, but it can be forestry, it can be urban fire services or forest fire services, but it's for responding agencies and at international level. What would be interesting is that we could, my dream is to use more largely, to be tested on more events, sometimes possible on Modex, and also criticized, because there is no scientific research on these points. So nobody is criticizing our work. For example, the weighting coefficient we use. So, of course, the best would be that to be fully recognized by EU CPM, to be used after EU CPM activations. And as you understand, it is a tool for training to improve your weaknesses, and also maybe at a prevention level, a preparedness level for bilateral relations between two countries, before doing agreements, maybe on a theoretical point of view, to try to see on which points do we have to work together when you, for example, sign an agreement with a cross-border country. So that's it. I'm available for your questions and also to share the tool with you.